Welcome to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio. I am joined, as always, by the Beanied one, Gerard Barrera.
What's up, boys? What's going on?
And then, as always, by the Lion's Mane, Jason Valerio.
How's it going, guys? How's it going tonight? Oh,
what is going on, all my fellow nerds and listeners? That's right. You just heard it from the Lion's Mane.
It has been what a week, man. What a week.
Oh, really? Got a little news? What little hot news going on right now? What's going on?
Just, it's been a lot of moves of our Costco, but nonetheless, it's just been work and sleep.
Sweet. Matt, how was your week?
Yeah.
It's been a week.
Yeah. To say the least. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been one of those weeks. Just work. It's been a lot going on with work and with what we've got going on with the podcast, which for those that are kind of watching and listening, we've got some really big news that we're going to be sharing with everybody the first week of March. So there's a lot that we're prepping for that. So my week's hectic.
Stay tuned.
As well. Yeah. So yeah, Jerry, how's your week?
I went to Walmart today.
You went to Walmart today?
Went to Walmart.
That's your exciting news, is that you went to Walmart?
Yeah, I needed some hangers.
Okay, hold on. You went to Walmart, yet you are right down the street from a really nice super Target.
Yeah, I just needed some cheap hangers.
Let's get it done, man. Let's get it done.
Yeah, that was my week. I mean, I'm not doing anything for the month until like next month when I start looking for a job. But yeah, I'm just kind of like taking my time and just getting my room together, stuff like that, like from the move. Yep. I'm still trying to get a lot of paperwork and stuff done, like my license and all that. So
yeah,
legitimate stuff. I'm just trying to get done before.
I'm gonna get a license in Arizona.
I just found out.
You're gonna switch plates, man? Like,
if I have to, like, that's what I'm trying to find out, because apparently, yeah,
15 days in Arizona. Yeah. I already looked it up.
Oh, really? Yeah. So
yes.
in Arizona, I guess, like, there's sticklers about your license for the most part. So like, I'm trying to get that done, and yeah.
Dang. So am I gonna frame the California license plate, man?
I might.
Gonna have a pour one out for the CA homies.
Like, for the yeah, man, the LB homies, dude. Yeah, I ventured out today. I drove around, like, ventured out to get to. I also got a haircut, and
yeah, like we could tell.
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously, guys. But yeah, I'm just kind of like getting the lay of the land, really, and just getting the logistics stuff done.
You're gonna be a Diamondback fan now?
Hell no. Dude, no.
Dude,
doing my errands,
no.
I was wearing my Los Angeles Dodgers hoodie today. Like, I was clearly from California.
Do you know how bad it's gonna be when he's gonna be wearing his Dodgers and I'm gonna be rocking purple and black?
Yeah, Rockies fan, yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna be the odd ducks out for
yes,
sure.
We will. Yeah, especially when we go to Arizona Diamondbacks games.
Oh, yeah. That's why you guys are gonna be like just.
Oh, we're just gonna be alone.
Gonna see you on TV. Hey, there's Matt, or there's Jerry, because of that one person.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So before we get into a lot of news from this past week, that there is quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Soldier First Class. He was diagnosed with COVID yesterday. So right now he is not having to be hospitalized or anything, which is a good thing. However, he is
that's a good sign,
feeling some of the effects of it. So definitely shout out to him. Speedy recovery.
Our prayers are with you, buddy.
Yeah, especially definitely want to get a better first and foremost, and hopefully he can make the be recovered in time for our birthday bash podcast in 2 weeks.
Yeah, get well, man. Like,
yeah,
first and foremost, take care of yourself. We be telling you guys from the get-go, you just got to be safe. And luckily, it's not as bad for Soldier, but just still be safe, man. Still be safe.
And then I want to give a shout out to Khalif Adams from Spawnomy, who was on the podcast last week.
Mm-hmm.
He made some really big news regarding himself and Spawnomy. So what I want to do is I want to share his announcement with everybody. Give me a moment here. Gotta share it with the audio. That'd be great,
Yeah, shout out to Khalif, man. You deserve this.
As Matt's getting that set, though, I got a bone to pick with Khalif a little bit. He literally, he remember how we asked him what was his game night was, and it was Drop Mix.
Mm-hmm.
I picked it up like a couple days later, and I kid you not, like me, my wife, my brother-in-law, and sister-in-law were just going ham on that game.
All right,
that's awesome.
Here we go. Here's the
I,
announcement.
I'll tell you more after this. Hold on.
Yeah. All right.
What's good, internet? What's good, Chicago? What the deal be? I hope you all doing well out here. Massive love to you all, and wanted to give you some good news about some of the stuff that we're doing with Twitch for Black History Month. We were part of that big campaign. We're doing some fun stuff with there. We were on Front Page a couple days ago, had a monster stream with all of that. One of the things that I've been saying about Spawnomy is that we do big things here. We try to push the needle forward. We try to make sure that we are kicking ass and taking names everywhere we go. But that stuff starts from somewhere. It starts from a dream. It starts from a bucket list. It starts from a wish list. And one of my things forever has been, I want to do something cool in New York. I want to do something, back home and stake a claim in some form or fashion. And with our friends from Twitch, we get a chance to do that during this month in a huge way, in a way that I would have never foreseen as a person who was always told that they wouldn't be anything. And it's my mind is blown, and I don't know what to say, but thank you to the folks at Twitch for making this happen. Your boy, along with some wonderful friends, is on a billboard in Times Square.
Oh, look at that man.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
We only do big things here in Spawnomy. Let's go.
Man, let's go, man.
Dude, congratulations. Yep. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
And it is well deserved. Absolutely well deserved for Khalif. Great person, and he does a lot of work for the community, and it's great that he's getting this recognition.
Yeah.
So with that, let's go to Jason so he can raise some more beef with Khalif.
It's not beef. No. It is not beef. Don't get me wrong. It is not beef. I'm just like, man, he got me into Drop Mix.
He got you hooked. He got me hooked.
And let me tell you, this is the thing though. It's a discontinued game.
Mm-hmm.
So I have literally in the past week almost dropped in total close to $100 on this thing. There are, because it's a TCG, it's a trading card game. So all the cards have different songs, different parts of audio.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh, all those tracks and the different packs. So I've been literally buying there's 140 cards, and right now on Friday, hopefully I'll be halfway there, 200.
Damn, whoa, damn, dude!
So you're doing Pokemon and you're trying to collect them all, huh?
Yeah,
dude. I mean, there's one that is literally the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme.
Oh,
that was a promo release. So I'm
that's sick.
So if to any of our listeners, if you got that, I am willing to make an exchange, make a trade or something. Maybe you can take my spot for a day. I don't know.
That would be funny.
Khalif, you got me hooked, man. You got me hooked.
Khalif, if you're watching, Jason's trying to make up some kind of a trade here. So
you got me hooked now, Khalif.
There you go.
All right, so let's talk about the news. There is a lot of it to cover in both the movie and the gaming side. So I want to start off with some news out of Disney this week. And it was announced that Blue Sky Studios, who is the maker of all the Fox animated movies, most specifically Ice Age, they will be closing in April. There's going to be about 150 people that are going to be impacted by this closure. Blue Sky made, as a studio, going into the whole Disney Fox deal and everything, $5.9 billion in gross revenue over the breadth of their films. So this is definitely a hit for those people that are employed with Blue Sky. But honestly, the writing was on the wall the second that deal even was done, because that would meant, if they kept them going, that would have been 3 animation studios that Disney was going to be running. You have Disney Animation, you have Pixar, and then you'd have Blue Sky. So it only makes sense, especially in the day and age of COVID, where you're not seeing the big blockbuster pictures like going to theaters completely. A lot of it's going for streaming wise. You can start cutting down on your release schedule. But it is really sad because Blue Sky does have a big history, with Ice Age and whatnot.
Hopefully they have a nice transition where, like,
speaking of Disney,
they employ they try and employ or have a good transition for those who lost their jobs. Hopefully,
it would be nice. They haven't really stated what they're doing with that yet.
Right.
Are they going to transition folks into Pixar and Disney Animation, or are they just going to be let go? Now, speaking of being let go, news came out last night. Jerry and I were kind of talking about this.
Disappointing.
Gina Carano, who was part of the Mandalorian, she played Cara, the
Cara Dune.
Alliance, Cara Dune, the soldier. She has been fired from the Mandalorian. As Lucasfilms puts it, she's no longer working for the company and will not be for the foreseeable future. This was due to one tweet that went out yesterday. That was
that was the final nail in the coffin.
It was the nail in the coffin, absolutely. So
yeah, there's been a number of tweets.
There's been a number, absolutely. So the lead up, and we'll say, the lead up's going to be is she has been tweeting out about anti-masking and how it's a joke and COVID's not real. She has been a very outspoken proponent of Trump and the election being stolen, and constantly tweeting out at the election was stolen and all this. She also tweeted out about being anti-LGBTQ, which part of that doesn't surprise me with the decision that was made as well, because Pedro Pascal's sister came out, Lux, as being transgender. And it was nice to see that Lux said specifically that Pedro was one of the driving forces to help her come out as transgender.
He's being a good brother.
Exactly. And I think the straw that broke the camel's back was the tweet that went out yesterday that has summarily been deleted. But she stated that being a Republican in this day and age is like being Jewish during the Holocaust.
Dang. That's a little extreme.
She compared being part of a political party that has, and those that are watching, the podcast live and that are going to be listening to this when it goes live, you guys all around the world, you guys know what's going on in the U.S. We know what the former president stood for, and what we're going through with the impeachment trial right now, and the aftermath of it. And honestly, it was very much white supremacist views, which, I'm sorry, you came out as anti-Semitic with this by saying that the Republican Party is like being Jewish. I'm sorry, there is no comparison whatsoever. Jewish were people that were hunted and persecuted by the Nazis during World War II, for just being Jewish. That's it. And not being what Hitler wanted. Whereas the Republican Party has been very much stop the steal, fight, back rhetoric that caused death at the Capitol on January 6th. As I've been watching the impeachment trial and what's been put on, they're showing video footage that has never been seen, is from security cameras, from the inside and everything like that. And it would have been very, very different had the Capitol Police not done what they've done. Eugene, the police officer that kind of led them away, he saved Mitt Romney. You actually see Mitt Romney kind of heading towards one hallway, and here comes Eugene bolting down the hallway saying, "Turn around," because the mob was coming right down that hallway. They were within feet of where Mike Pence was hiding, where Pelosi was, where Schumer was. I mean, and you hear on the videotape that they were looking specifically for Pence and Pelosi, and they were going to execute them. So, frankly, to say that the Republican part, being Republican, is like being Jewish during the Holocaust is complete bull. And frankly, Disney has a image to maintain. They support LGBTQ. They support, everything.
And they've been very vocal about that. They've been very vocal on their position on the LGBTQ community. They're, they've been a little slow in the process, but they're showing a lot of support in their newer venues and newer projects, which is great. And I totally agree with their stance. I'm
surprised they let her go this long. I'm really surprised they let her go this long with some of the stuff she was saying.
Well, this is the reason. So it actually stemmed from months ago when she was first tweeting and kind of creating a little, bad buzz during, I believe, the start of the second season, or even the
it was around
end of the first season. Yeah. But they couldn't. They were already in production and getting ready for the second season, I believe. Yep. So they had to finish it. But I think they were still going to let her continue, because they made that, they were hinting that announcement that the Rangers of the Republic, she was going to be like the steaming force, like the lead in that show.
Yeah, or at least get it off the ground.
Exactly, and you're like you said, nail in the coffin. That last tweet really, they dropped her. So it sucks. I'm a fan of hers, but also I'm sorry, if you're gonna if you are gonna have like that political agenda,
that's strong of a political,
strong of a political agenda, or
and
values.
I do want to.
You have to pick and choose your times, especially in that industry. I mean.
And I do want, for those that are around the world, right, that are not part of this whole powder keg that's been going on in the U.S., right? It was one out of line to say Republicans, because honestly, there are Republicans that realize just what happened, what's been going on in this country, and have been trying to stop it. I mean, heck, Republicans came out and voted for Biden. That's how, they crossed the party line just to get him out, right?
Yeah.
So it should be, the fact is, you have to separate Trumplicans and Republicans, and we'll, there is a difference. And, honestly, I just think that, it was out of line, and Disney did what they had to do. Yeah. I'm proud of them for that.
It's just unfortunate because she was really beloved in that show. Like she was kind of representing women a lot. Like she was a tough chick in that show, and she had a lot of representation. I mean, it just sucks because
and
that type
here's
of
the thing is, though,
and you let your political views overshadow that.
Yeah. Some people have come out and said that she's been a lot of people come out in support of her to say she was the best female character in the entire Star Wars universe. And no, that we can go down the list.
Yeah, we can go down that list. But
don't get me wrong, she's up there.
Yeah, she's up there, but I mean,
I don't know.
She's not even top 10.
That might be your feelings on the whole
No.
issue. I think she's up there.
Yeah, she's up there,
So,
but she's not.
I give her top. I'll give her top 25 as a character, but as far as female characters in the Star Wars universe, there is way better. Leia, Ahsoka. Just
I want to
name-
hear all 25. Seriously,
all 25.
she's up there. She's on top 10, possibly. I wouldn't say top 5. She's in the top 10. Really, realistically, in the Star Wars universe, you can go to Jedi's, but like she's the first legit soldier for the Republic that we've kind of seen as a female. Like, and she's tough as shit.
Yep.
It sucks that we lost a character like that.
Yeah.
But
I don't
it's
know
also
who
gonna be
you.
weird going forward. Like if like they probably had so much in works with her as a character.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be weird not seeing it for the next season or the next iterations and stuff like that because of
think-
how strong she was with.
I don't think you
this-
recast her.
Oh,
The reason-
actually they're talking about recasting her, and they're already looking at like 3 actors for it.
you can't.
This is the reason I say you don't recast her, is because if for some reason she does this whole about face, like you and I were talking about, Jerry, right? Lays low for a little bit, then does this whole apology kick, right?
Yeah.
For everything, then you could bring her back potentially if Disney really wanted to do that. But I really think it's a mistake to recast her.
Yeah,
because of-
it's definitely.
I think so too, but given their stance and how much money that they potentially probably lost, like especially in
Or could have lost had
franchise,
there
or
not
could have
been.
lost.
Yeah.
And I think, and from some of my research on a lot of the reviewers on like what's happened, a lot are saying that a recast is most likely going to happen, and it's going to start in the new Republic Rangers, that show that she was originally supposed to star in. I think they're going to recast and have her start on that show.
So Newman's got a great point in our chat. Here on Twitch, that's you crashed in game night. He said recast is a bad idea. Have the soldier character die off and then replace her with something else.
Yeah,
And I think that might be even a better way to go. Is you have one of those stronger female actresses that I don't know who they're looking at, right? You bring them in as a new character, right, to kind of take the mantle forward.
That's also a great idea.
I
That's actually
better,
really like
though.
that idea too.
Yep.
Like you're too.
I think there's always like a bad stigma when it comes to like recasting.
Yeah.
Because
honestly,
there's already like we're already stuck with a great performance from Gina Carano, and then someone different's going to try and kind of embody that character again. Like it just doesn't work.
No, you can't. I mean, like if you try doing the recast, you're too far in. If it was maybe like a couple episodes, maybe. Because you can't Viv this whole thing, you can't.
Look what's going on with Batwoman, though. I mean, on the CW, right? You have
that's different.
Well, no,
that's
what I'm saying is,
different.
though, you go through one entire season and you recast as a completely different actress and stuff like that. I think it does lose part of the essence.
Yeah.
When you bring in somebody else.
Yeah. Because then you have to rebuild this like personality that they're gonna have, and like. Like I said, the Aunt Viv situation, it was only a few episodes.
Dude, that was a bad situation with Aunt Viv, and
But like after watching
it's still
that,
a bad situation,
that Fresh Prince, that Fresh Prince thing,
the reunion
on HBO, it was just like, dude, like that's so true, like the Aunt Viv, the original Aunt Viv was just so like dominating. It always makes whoever is quote unquote recast going to be like always trying to make up for that, or always trying to like get that personality
it's kind of different. It is kind of different when it's television, because the second Aunt Viv really just took it to a different direction.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, this is the same thing that's going to happen with the new, like if she gets recast,
and it's better. I feel the same way. I feel like kill off the character, have her like just be from the 2 seasons of Mandalorian, because we can appreciate it, and just create a new character.
Yeah.
Yep. Now
I hope
Newman,
for that too.
Now Newman also brings up a point, and it's kind of help segue into our next topic, is that what he was saying, though, is if you're going to recast character, you need to have something happen where a plausible storyline accounts for the appearance change, like she is a clone or something like that. So, I mean, that's something you go along the lines of. But when we look at appearance changes and stuff, let's talk briefly about WandaVision episode 5. This was a big episode. I'm expecting episode 6 is going to be big because this was the 80s episode, kind of sitcom style, and
may I just say, like, the team behind WandaVision, ridiculous.
Dude, it's Kevin Feige.
By the way, there's spoilers ahead.
Right.
Yeah,
but like even each intro is like Easter eggs to like so much nostalgia. Like this last episode, there were like Easter eggs of Full House.
And everybody's joking that they need to do Full House for the 90s episode, which should be. Now that point, Jason, I know you say spoilers too, but some of the stuff has already been ruined by the trailers that have been put out there for the new episodes and whatnot. But the couple of big things that we saw were how the materials change a little bit when they go into Eastview. Is that like Rambo's Kevlar basically was just changed into a shirt
when she was
and pants
sucked in
for the era.
Her Kevlar chest got remattered into her pants.
You also, as they're giving her the workup, you know, and checking her out, right, you do see that she is now pure energy on the iPad, which to touch on that, basically in the comics she is Photon, aka Spectrum, you know, depending on which comic line, right? Photon was more the nod to her mom. That was her mom's call sign when she was in the Air Force. But she is Spectrum, and you know that's where people are thinking that we may see Rambo become Spectrum because of all this and actually see powers. But we also see Peter Maximoff return as a recast as well. And that's the thing, is we all know him as Peter Maximoff, right?
Because he's from the X-Men Fox version. Yeah. Which was such a good twist. Like, it was a good twist.
You know, we are introduced to him but Wanda knows him as Pietro, so he's been kind of recast as Kat Dennings' character. She's recast Pietro. So it's gonna be interesting to where that goes.
Because it's very interesting because her reaction, she didn't recognize him. Really.
And that's the thing is, or B, I think more so is it's not necessarily that she didn't notice him. It's just the fact that she didn't create him.
That too.
As well. But also in the episode, we do understand like Vision kind of goes into the mind of one of the people and breaks them of the hold. So we know that these people are legit. Like they've been kind of looking at in the outside world, right? These are legit people that are
and Vision now knows something's up. Something's definitely up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's looking more and more like Agnes, the neighbor, is actually Agatha, the witch.
Yeah.
Because we're starting to see more and more signs that they're kind of starting to make her look like her outfits from the comics a little bit more.
And the brooch was a big giveaway.
Yep. And the fact that she's always there when one is needed to kind of calm her, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. Definitely looking forward to episode 6 though, because we've got 4 more episodes left and this thing's done. And then we're going to be leading into, you know, Falcon and Winter Soldier, which
it's looking
fantastic.
And that's another kind of mystery too, because
dude,
really Falcon is not Captain America, or he doesn't have the shield. So
he does have the shield in the trailer,
but it gets taken away because the is it the Patriot or it's
US agent?
US agent.
US agent. Yep.
Yeah. So this is going to be interesting to see. Like maybe at the end he finally really has to get the shield back. And
then being in couples counseling.
That was hilarious. Yeah, so, it's gonna be good. And I I absolutely love that they brought Zemo back and that actor.
Well, and then we've got
yeah,
Agent Carter.
and Agent Carter's back. But I'm more excited for Zemo, really, because that actor, if you follow a lot of his stuff, he's versatile. He's been like in Tarantino movies.
It'll be interesting to see where they
he's
take
amazing.
this series after WandaVision, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be also interesting
Or the
to
timeline
see
when it's what's happening, because it could be during different times too.
They could also be going on at the same time too. I mean,
right.
You know,
right.
The one thing I'm looking forward to though is to find out who the Luke Skywalker level cameo is going to be for WandaVision though.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of different things. I'm hearing Doctor Strange. I'm hearing Spider-Man, like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
So there's rumors that it could be Magneto.
Oh yeah, that's right. I heard that one. And that it's going to be Ian McKellen's Magneto.
Yep. But there's also a rumor it could be Loki.
Oh, wow, that'd be interesting. That would tie into the show too.
Wanda helps him destroy the Time Force team or whatever they're the police that kind of watch over the multiverse. So in the comics, he helped. No, it's not NovaCorp.
No, isn't it no, not the Watchers.
No, I'd have to look it up, but it was basically in the comics, like she helps him destroy it, which lets him kind of get back into doing his own thing. So it makes me wonder is if he doesn't go get another copy of the Mind Stone from another dimension, and they bring Vision back.
That would be interesting.
But so Polar Knights, thank you for joining in, and he's like, it's like the evolution of beards. So yes,
I know.
This is as long as I will ever get mine. So
I just trimmed up.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Tom Holland in an interview did kind of try and squash the rumors of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire joining Spider-Man 3, but honestly, with everything you're casting, with Kirsten Dunst and Emma Stone coming back, you've got Alfred Molina, Jamie Foxx, all of those coming back. You'd be stupid not to. So we'll see where everything heads, especially with some of the fan trailers that are out there are amazing, and I hope they all come to fruition.
It's an exciting time. Like Marvel. I mean, Marvel really knocked it out of the park, like knowing what the right moves to make after Endgame, after all of the phases. Everyone was skeptical. Like now they're doing TV shows and they're going to tie in. And everyone was kind of skeptical, and it's working, and it is working like a dude. It's a full train.
It's working. What Feige's doing with Marvel is what Favreau's doing with Star Wars right now. It's kind of, so now let's talk about some other castings in some movies that are out there. So this week we got 2 announcements for Borderlands.
Yeah.
So we know already Kate Blanchett was already cast as Lilith. That was announced months ago. A couple of weeks ago, Kevin Hart was announced as Roland. But this week we got Jamie Lee Curtis as Dr. Tannis. And just today, a couple hours ago, it was announced that Jack Black is going to be Claptrap.
Oh my God, such a great idea. Oh my God. One of the best moves.
Like I was telling Matt earlier before we started, I was like, dude, I can literally hear those voices. Like not even just visualize, but I can definitely hear those voices and just be like, dude, that is a solid casting.
Yeah.
Like the Kevin Hart one, I'm still like 50-50 with, but like Jack Black as Claptrap.
He's gonna kill it. He's gonna
kill it.
He has that comedy already,
just like I can imagine all the fan trailers like dubbing Pick a Destiny lines as with Claptrap like videos. It's gonna be hilarious.
You know what though? I mean, Newman brings up he was hoping like Jack might have been like Mr. Torque. which would have been hilarious too.
That would have been funny too. That would have been a
but
good
I think
one.
he's really good as Claptrap. So
Yeah.
So in the last bit of casting news, this all broke yesterday. So the first one we're going to talk about is going to be Bella Ramsey was cast as Ellie.
Oh yeah.
For the Last of Us TV show, which for those that are fans of Game of Thrones, you will know her as Lyanna Mormont, who was
so
a young, very young queen that
was not to be messed with in the show.
That was,
I guess.
as my wife put it, not to be messed with.
Yeah,
and that she was.
I heard she was
respected
badass.
by. Yeah. So I think honestly, when you look at her and you look at the prior roles she's done, especially with Game of Thrones, I think she's a perfect fit for Ellie. And then the other announcement that went out was that Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian, is going to be Joel. I
think this is a good casting.
The initial rumors going around was that Mahershala Ali was originally offered the role of Joel. I'm kind of torn on this because Mahershala Ali is an amazing actor, and he could have done a really good job with the role. But for me, Pedro fits more of the essence of Joel. And I'm not talking about skin color or anything like that, but you look at, he plays a lot of roles that are more that guardianship, that courier type role.
It's already trending the father verse, right?
No. So have you seen the father verse?
All four of his last projects are him taking care of being a mentor or a father figure.
So there is a meme going around right now that shows Joel driving the car, and I think it was on their way to Pittsburgh or leaving Pittsburgh, one of the two.
Oh, from the first game?
Yes, and it has Grogu in the back seat looking up over the back seat.
So funny.
But honestly, I think Pedro is, from an acting perspective, is badass enough to do what he needs to do from a Joel perspective, but he has that human fatherly courier, I've got that pain, but I'm going to take care of you anyway side too. So honestly though, regardless of who they went with, Mahershala or Pedro in this case, I would have been 100% happy.
Yeah,
I would have been great with both of those.
They're both top-notch actors.
Mm-hmm.
And it might have been scheduling that Mahershala, I think he's still filming Blade right now, isn't he?
I don't know if Blade started or if they're getting ready to start it, but he's got other projects that are coming up too.
I'm really guessing that he was scheduling because he's pretty busy.
Right here, let's go ahead and let's go see what Mahershala Ali had.
And also for the listeners, if you guys are worried about season 3 of Mandalorian, I just saw something from another reviewer on YouTube that pointed out something very interesting. The first post of when the news of, it's in pre-production. So yeah.
Okay, this is why. So you have 2021. He is going to be in a TV show called Invincible.
That's a comic book. That's a comic book, actually.
He's got a movie called Swan Song. Those are both in post-production. So Blade is in pre-production. So that might have been a scheduling conflict as well. At least with Pedro Pascal, for a lot of the Mandalorian, that can be done remotely because a lot of it's voiceover work. He's got the on-screen double.
So there was a post saying that Pedro Pascal, that Disney put out, that Pedro Pascal, they said May or will possibly be back for the Mandalorian, and they immediately they deleted it, I think within a couple days, and said changed it to will. He will be back,
and he will. And it's not that hard for him to fly in for a day.
I think it scheduling wise, it was a perfect storm for him to he already has a relationship with HBO, being, in my opinion, the only good part of Wonder Woman. He really kind of stood out in the movie for me. and I think a lot of people were appreciative of that role, and he did very well. So they, wanted to continue working with him, and this is great. I am very excited for Last of Us.
Jason, how far in Last of Us are you?
So Pedro Pascal has dude, my backlog is just, it was ridiculous.
Well,
It's just ridiculous.
If you'd stop playing Division and play some other games, you might be able to enlighten yourself.
But
bro,
I gotta look for my coworker hits me up like, I'm down to play, and then at the same time too, we just had a new season, new Manhunt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
That's finishing up, and then all the new news that's coming out for the end of quote unquote end of Division.
So we'll talk about that here in a second, but I want to talk about another studio in Insomniac, and it was announced today that Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart arrives on June 11th.
Theo, shout out to you.
I know.
Yeah, I'm sure he's excited too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's good that it has an actual date. It's always feels good, but at the same time, right now we've been having a long string of bad releases. So,
but
this is, it's Insomniac though,
and they have been working on it.
Yeah, they've been
ever since Spider-Man was done, or even Miles Morales. Like they've been working on it for a while, so I'm not too worried about that release.
Yeah, so that's why it's good to have a set date, but let's
take a look at
let's hope that it makes it.
Yeah, I always get a little scared too nowadays.
Yeah.
If it apparently doesn't want to play the video right now, so we'll scroll down and say, so here's the actual box art.
Sweet.
Are
there any kind of there we go.
So pre-order bonuses, here's a look at the digital content you unlock early. So this is by pre-ordering the digital standard and digital deluxe editions. So you're going to get the game, you're going to get the Carbonux armor and the pixelizer weapon.
That already sounds fun.
Yep. There's the in-game stuff for it.
Sick.
It's actually pretty cool. Normally I'm not into glamour, but this one is not that bad.
And then
pretty sick.
You've got the digital deluxe edition, which you get those bonuses, plus it's going to come with 5 additional armor sets, a photo mode sticker pack, 20 raritarium, the digital soundtrack, and the digital art book. So chances are that's probably the one I will go with.
And I will be going with the exact same one, but
it's
physical.
And it's an actual. Well, you remember though, there may be different prices because this is what, $10 more than a standard.
Yeah.
So there's going to be the physical launch edition, which will be like the digital standard edition. You're going to get those as your pre-orders. And then also there is a Rift Apart shirt that's debuting on the PlayStation Store, which that looks freaking awesome.
That's cool.
And I might have to actually order it. So so it's great that we're getting a true exclusive.
Yeah, we're finally exclusive.
Demon's Souls, yes, Demon's Souls is an exclusive for the PS5, but it's
exclusive
remake of the original. But this is the first game that is truly built
for the PS5,
ground up,
yeah,
PS5, that didn't exist prior to this, So when we look at the other games going around, so WB Games patented the Nemesis system from Shadows of Mordor and Shadow of War. This has gotten a lot of backlash in the community because you're patenting a game mechanic. So at this point, a lot of people are just going to have to basically kind of do something. If they're going to want to do something similar, they're going to have to find ways around the patent. So far it's only been in 2 games.
I kind of understand that though, because if you look at the 2 games, like together, and that singular game mechanic, it's very original. So I kind of get why they patented
it. Is
because there isn't really anything else out there like it, except for the Lord of the Rings games. So I kind of understand it, because that's something you kind of want for your company.
What is the mechanic?
A lot of hard work.
So the Nemesis system, what it is you had 4 top ogres.
So there was a whole.
Was it 4 or 6? It was a hierarchy. So you had
So you had the main general,
the generals, then the captains,
lower general, captains,
keep on going all the way down.
Yeah. So it went down ranks, and like if your main character went through some of the ranks, but then maybe a general killed you, then that general becomes like an enemy to
ranks
you,
up and moves
then
up
ranks up
the tier.
So it's harder to kill them.
Yep.
If they kill you.
And then also too is right, if you knock off like a captain, one of the lower ones will step up into that slot as well, as long as the general was there on the field still. Once the general was on the field, then as long as you could take them all out, then it kind of eliminated that army for that specific area. And then when you move to the other part of the game,
area and you take it over.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that
is a fantastic system. I think Jason was overdoing Final Fantasy when we were overseeing the demo for it at E3.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably.
So
like I do one day to check out the whole E3 floor, and then the other 2 days
Final
just,
Fantasy.
Hey, what's up? Like, let me know what's new.
So Jason, speaking of Ubisoft, like you brought up a minute ago, it did come out that the Division is going to be getting content through 2022. They do have that cross promotion that is going on with Capcom right now. So if you log in, you're going to get some of Leon Kennedy's outfit.
Resident Evil gear.
Yeah,
they just had a zombie mode not too long ago.
Now the thing is, though, they haven't specifically stated what kind of content is going to be coming, whether it's just going to be little tiny missions. I mean, whatever it is, you're still going to be getting content until 2022. They have not committed to anything as far as the Division 3 going forward. Part of me will be sad that if they don't keep going forward with it, but part of me will understand it as well, because the first Division didn't do great. And the fact that they came out with the Division 2 is a testament to the work that the team of Massive did in terms of creating New York City and some of the mechanics. It just didn't go over well with the community. Division 2, gorgeous game, great mechanics, a lot of new quality of life things. They had to revamp the gear system though last year,
which was for the better too.
Which was for the better. It really was. Put more of an RPG element into it. You just got the 60 frames per second 4K upgrade for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. But the problem that I see them not committing with is the fact is Julian Garrity and the team of Massive are moving on to Star Wars.
Yeah.
So the creative driving force behind Division 1 and 2 is no longer going to be there.
Yeah, I mean,
because Star Wars is a very big deal. The fact that you now have them, Lucasfilm Games, giving out licenses to other companies other than EA.
Yeah.
So
which
that part's going to be
still
huge.
Very excited for Ubisoft to get their hands on. I'm excited to just see what they're going to do.
And it's already been announced they're going to be using the Snowdrop engine from Division 2.
It's gonna look pretty. It's gonna look pretty.
Yes.
But
so
like for Division 2, it's for sure they're gonna have like one more raid. I really don't think they're ever gonna put in the crossplay, which is a sad day. But they are for sure gonna, I think, cease Division 2. Like there's not gonna be a Division 3.
You think so?
Just like you said, I mean, when you put so many, like they're so spread out now with so many different types of games that if you want to have like one dedicated team still making content or still adding to Division 2, and then on top of it, you want to try and get a Division 3. It's just too much for like a small team to do.
Yeah.
And
especially like if they're going to if they're going to attempt a 3, they're going to try and go bigger, add more. Yeah, that's cool. It's going to be
it's as much as that sucks to hear, but it's going to be a whole. From what my coworkers said, it's going to be like an end, but not the end that everyone wants or the players want.
Yeah.
So it's a little bittersweet, but they got to move on to the bigger games like Star Wars, and it's that just because it says Star Wars, a lot of people are going to at least get it.
Yeah.
So the last little bit of news out of Ubi, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake has been delayed.
Good.
Again, and this time no date on that. So as it reads, for those that are listening on the audio feed for the podcast, since announcing Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake in September, we saw an outpouring of feedback from you on this beloved franchise. It is your passion and support that is driving our development teams to make the best game possible. With that said, we have made the decision to shift the release date for Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake to a later date. This extra development time will enable our teams to deliver a remake that feels fresh while remaining faithful to the original. We understand the update might come as a surprise, and we will continue to keep you posted on the progress of Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake. In the meantime, we want to thank you all for your ongoing support, the dev team.
I absolutely support this.
So, AKA guys, the game has been put on hiatus, so they can basically go back and redo everything, because we all know when it was first revealed, everybody was like,
very underwhelming.
It was underwhelming.
Yeah.
People were questioning if it was even current gen. They were comparing it to like PS3 graphics.
Yeah.
All the NPCs looked like the same character. So,
I was very afraid,
so
this was not going to do
by saying it's a later. Now, here's my thing with this is that for those that are fans of Ubisoft, that a couple years ago, Skull and Bones went through the same process. They initially revealed it. They had a booth at E3. We went and tried it, and we thought it was a knockoff of Black Flag, and that it was just the ship combat part of it, and a very poor version at that. And then they said, hey, this game is being postponed till a later date, and we have not heard peep from it since.
Because it was an original IP and it just didn't work. This is something that they're trying to revamp a franchise. I think it's going to be released. I think they're working on it. It's just, I think they heard a lot of the fans kind of discrepancy.
Well, rightfully so. At least in this case, they're taking it back to the drawing board and fixing what they need to do before they release it, so you don't have a Assassin's Creed Unity problem when it launches.
Yeah. And definitely with Prince of Persia, it's always been about the background, the cinematics, the storytelling,
the acrobatics,
and of course the aerial, like the quote unquote scroller aspect of it. But to remake it in this new day and age, it's got to look way better than it could ever be.
Especially since the technology's there. Like,
the technology is there.
Don't just
have the graphic. Yeah, you have the graphics to just, hey, take your time. Final Fantasy 7 it up. Take a few more, take an extra year or two, which I don't think they will now, because they say, they said the delay, but we'll see how long that delay is. Just take some extra time, redo it, get it looking beautiful, so in that way, when it does come out, you can be like, ooh, have that crazy moment where you're just speechless. Because those fans, the Prince of Persia fans, they're in it for the story.
I bought all three. All three were awesome.
But you're in it for the story and the graphics and how it looks. You're not gung ho oh, this has got to be the fastest paced game ever. No, you take your time. You slow it down.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's move over to another big gaming conglomerate, so to speak, in EA. So first thing that came out this week is it was announced that this week the senior leadership at EA is going to be deciding the fate of Anthem. As we know, that there has been a small team from BioWare that has been working to overhaul the game. So they're going to be meeting this week to see how the new Anthem revamp is looking and how it's going to translate to potential people playing the game again. Honestly,
I think it's going to get scrapped.
Nope.
I think it's probably going to get scrapped because when you look at things, right, they had this small team that has been set up to do it, but you also have Dragon Age 4 being made. You have a new Mass Effect being made. I think, honestly, I would focus more on the Dragon Age and the Mass Effect. Potentially say, well, forget the multiplayer portion, Anthem. Take that team doing the multiplayer and have it do multiplayer for Mass Effect, 4 or whatever it's going to be called. Because honestly, the multiplayer in Mass Effect 3 was good. It was fun. You got to play as a different.
I say don't even put it in the game. I think
there
was too much put into the game. The multiplayer wasn't big for me.
If I had my preference, they take the multiplayer out of Mass Effect though, because that was one of the drawbacks to Mass Effect 3 is that you could not prepare for the battle 100% unless you did the online and did a lot of it. So hopefully quality of life when we see Mass Effect Trilogy launching, that will change and we don't have to worry about that multiplayer piece. Now, speaking of Mass Effect, let's talk about Mass Effect because we did not have a chance to really talk about that with Khalif being on the show last week. So with that, let's take a look at the Mass Effect site really quick and kind of show everybody what we're actually going to be seeing now with Mass Effect. Now, I want to temper everybody's expectations with this is that
I love that background. I love the
yeah. There we go. Go full screen with it. There we go. So you've got this background. So let's temper everybody's expectations with the game. Okay, so all the DLC is going to be there except Pinnacle Station. The reason Pinnacle Station is not going to be involved in the game as a DLC, which is to Mass Effect 1, is because the code was so corrupted they couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, the Gold Masters, right?
The Gold Masters were completely trashed.
Yeah,
also, too, is when you look at the games, right, because they were in Unreal Engine 3, a lot of things were locked into place for Unreal Engine 3, and you cannot upgrade from 3 to 5. You just can't do it with the coding. So everything that they're doing is more from an aesthetic standpoint, making it look a lot better. They did update the Mako controls a little bit, but we're going to be seeing everything, 1 through 3.
And that's the other thing. I think this is the other thing. I think a lot of people get confused. This is a remake.
Yep.
Or
no, it's a remaster.
Or it's a remaster. I'm sorry.
Yep.
A total remaster, which means like it's going to be prettied up, and some of the controls are going to be a little different.
Let's take a look.
It's not a remaster.
So on the left side of the screen, you're seeing the original Mass Effect 1. On the right,
PS3 goodness. Or no, that's Xbox or
Xbox
PS2.
One.
Yeah,
or Xbox. Or sorry, Xbox 360.
360.
And then they ported it to PS3 later on. But let's look at this. So we're gonna go here. The original. And look at how it looks for the remake.
It looks great.
For the remaster. Image 2, they're kind of showing you've got the original versus new.
It looks awesome, dude.
You've got video 2. It's going to load for us here. We'll do image 1. So even on this one, right?
My favorite assassin.
right? But look how he looks now.
Dude,
Just-
look at the texture on his face. Like they
Yep.
did a great job touching it up, man.
Look
yeah,
at
I'm
well,
excited.
even then, look at his suit right there in the collar. Just
Yeah.
look at the detail.
The lighting.
Yeah, I
like-
love the bad robot, the lens flare. The
Well, I
JJ
mean, that's
flare
all we need
effects.
though in this generation is just
I don't need a remaster or a remake on Mass
no,
Effect.
I'm not talking about remakes.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the upgrade in quality where like
Mhm.
this is what kind of all of us are expecting now. This like ultra, like I can see sweat drops, I can see pores kind of detail.
Mhm.
You can see an iris or
You
like the
know,
eyes flicker.
Yep.
You know,
The
a lot more
lighting on
detail.
it is going to be immaculate. Take an
Mhm.
extra year to go through that post production or like whatever it may be, and give us that versus okay, well, you know what? We need a game out this year, so let's throw something out there and have a big rush job.
Mhm.
You know,
Yep.
I'd rather wait 7 years for a game to come out that's just immaculate.
Yeah,
Yep.
Maybe not
So-
7, but for sure 5. I'll do
want
5
this.
years for it just to be like this
So let's take a
crystal
look at this.
quality thing. You know,
I want
And-
this so bad.
So do I.
Holy- is that a real like
It is
That
a
is a
fully
1-to-1 scale.
functioning
1-to-1 scale.
a
1-to-1
1-to-1 scale? That's a
replica
big
helmet.
box.
Yeah,
That's a huge box.
So you're going to get a canvas print, morality spinners, N7 acceptance letter, the helmet, the metal key case.
but it's just that. Doesn't come with the game.
So they are doing what they did with Mass Effect Andromeda, where the collector's edition is just the specialty stuff and not the game. Some may say, yeah, it's a cash grab, which I would not
I mean,
But
that's
I
how
would-
you,
I would
that's
disagree
how you
with them
spell
on
it.
that.
CACHE, cash grab.
Cash grab, right?
But I'm one of the if I was working, I totally would have bought this.
So according to this, one of these you'll be able is only exclusive to the legendary cache. The other, which they haven't said which one, will be available through the BioWare stores. So
Exclusive.
I'm hoping the Normandy is in the store because I would love to have that canvas. 100%.
Yeah,
So when you look at Jason, to your point, the helmet,
That's a 1-to-1 scale, man. That is
1-to-1 scale.
You know, people could be wearing that a lot.
Oh, dude,
Dude.
And it
I would.
has-
I would totally wear it while I'm playing.
Oh,
Yep. And it's powered by AA's.
not gonna lie,
And-
I cannot wait to see like the TikToks or the
Oh,
like,
yeah,
little
right.
YouTube videos of people just like sitting there in pajamas and a helmet,
Mhm.
like
It's gonna be awesome.
ready.
Yep. Yeah, so I can't wait for this to come out.
Yeah, because even like what the Halo one wasn't a 1-to-1, was it? It was like
No, it was not.
No, it was purely for aesthetics, and it just covered remember the 2 games. I actually still have it.
Yeah, I remember the Halo one
Yeah,
wasn't.
but
even
that
a
one was a
1-to-1.
big one too. A lot of people
Yeah.
loved that one.
That one is big, unless you're a kid, you know, it wouldn't really fit.
So Mass Effect will be launching on May 14th. So
Nice.
this is big. I mean, there's a lot of stuff launching. You've got Ratchet and Clank, MLB The Show, Resident Evil, Mass Effect. I mean, there's so many games that are getting ready to come out. And yes, people may say, well, these are old games. Well, frankly, you know what? Guess what? We're gonna lose me to Mass Effect.
Well, I mean, like
Me
it's-
too.
So now, speaking of EA, and this is an announcement that came out this past week as well, is Apex Legends is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Wow.
Sick.
Well
now-
played, Apex Legends.
It is not going to. It is going to be cross-platform, like it is right now. But you're not going to have cross save, so to speak. So you're not like Jerry. Our unlockables that we've already unlocked are not going to transition over to the Switch version. So we would have to unlock everything else again,
really?
including the characters and whatnot. But it is coming out March 9th. So here in a couple weeks, I have to hand it to John Vanaki and the third party team at Nintendo, because they are continually bringing titles like this to the Switch.
Smart moves.
And it is
a lot of
making the
smart moves.
Switch that much stronger. Yes,
More
I get it. To a
viable.
lot of people they're arguing, well, it doesn't have the graphics, but you know what though? When you look at their first party titles, their games are always beautiful regardless, and you're getting titles like this, right? And this is a big game, and we'll talk about it probably here in a few minutes, but it's and it's not that big. It's a 30 gig install.
Not to mention, what's to come with the next Switch Pro version. People are saying that it's going to be, 4K viable.
Well, I mean, you're going Nintendo though. You're not going for you're not going for beads like of hairs and stuff like that. You're going for the actual
Breath
gameplay.
of the Wild. That for me, that was amazing.
No,
that is like pure Nintendo.
Still,
I love it.
You cannot get rid of the king of handheld, Nintendo.
The old aesthetic.
Think of it this way: if you are stuck somewhere at home, yes, play it on PlayStation, play it on Xbox, play it on your PC. But if you're somewhere else, you can now play it on Nintendo. That is the biggest selling point for Nintendo. Stop trying to compare apples and oranges with Switch graphics. Stop it.
Yeah.
Like if you want to say, hey, let me go to your house, Jerry, in Arizona. Oh, but I don't have my computer or my PlayStation, but I can bring my Switch because it's really easy it's literally this big to carry, and we can play Apex Legends.
Yeah.
Do you know how massive, that's why Nintendo still, no matter what, will never, ever, never be the graphics king. Never. But the accessibility, the ability to just nonstop carry it with you.
Yeah.
Hey, if my wife drives on that 5-hour ride to 5-hour drive to Arizona, I could be playing Apex Legends in the car if I have a decent enough
Wi-Fi.
If I have decent enough Wi-Fi. But that option is there.
Yeah.
Now,
it's a smart move. It's a very smart move
for me though is I don't think it's a game that is completely suited for portable. The reason being is that Jerry and I have been playing Apex Legends quite a bit. And, there's things that you see off in the distance that on a bigger screen that you may not see on a smaller screen. So, however, that being said, though, I will absolutely download it on my Switch and give it a try and see how it plays.
Oh, heck yeah. It is.
And it's a fun game. Yeah. Once you get acclimated to it, it's a really fun game.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yes,
All
yes,
right.
you're right.
Hint, Jason.
No,
don't play Apex Legends. Come play Apex Legends with us. If you're gonna play Division, you can come play Apex with us.
Free.
Yeah, I'll play Apex with y'all on the Switch.
Okay. Oh God.
Oh my God.
Because I suck.
You got your Division crew.
I suck with controllers. My thumbs, they go like this.
Right, let's talk about the last major news is that CD Projekt Red Newman hints are useless because it's not Division 2. He will start playing it after you stop. Anyway, so CD Projekt Red this week, it was revealed, got massively hacked, and it is bad. It is really, really bad. So let's look at their press statement, which reads, yesterday we discovered that we have become a victim of a targeted cyber attack due to which some of our internal systems have been compromised. Okay, when we get to further on, this is not just some. This is pretty much all of their internal systems were compromised. When you're in an IT, when you're working on the IT side, this really is. So basically, an unidentified actor gained unauthorized access to our internal network, collected certain data belonging to CD Projekt Red Capital Group, and left a ransom note, the content of which we released to the public, which I have that as well. Although some devices in our network have been encrypted, our backups remain intact. We have already secured our IT infrastructure and begun restoring the data. We will not give in to the demands nor negotiate with the actor, being aware that this may eventually lead to the release of compromised data. We are taking necessary steps to mitigate the consequences of such a release, in particular by approaching any parties that may be affected due to the breach. We are still investigating the incident. However, at this time, we cannot confirm that to our best of our knowledge. The compromised systems do not contain any personal data of our players or users of our services. We have already been approached by the relevant authorities, including law enforcement and the president of the Personal Data Protection Office. Now, keep in mind, they are overseas in Poland, as well as IT forensic specialists, and we will closely cooperate with them in order to fully investigate this incident. So let's take a look at the ransom note, which is kind of entertaining. It reads,
Oh wow.
hold on. This is what's funny about this whole ransom note thing. So it says, "Hello, CD Projekt Red. You have been epically pwned. We have dumped full copies of the source codes from your Perforce server for Cyberpunk 2077, Witcher 3, Gwent, and the unreleased version of Witcher 3. We've also dumped all of your documents relating to accounting, administration, legal, HR, investor relations, and more. Also, we have encrypted all of your servers, but we understand that you can most likely recover from backups. If we will not come to an agreement, then your source codes will be sold or leaked online, and your documents will be sent to our contacts in gaming journalism. Your public image will go down the shitter even more, and people will see how you shitty your company functions. Investors will lose trust in your company, and the stock will dive even lower. You have 48 hours to contact us." Okay, so one, there's grammatical errors all over the place.
And this is from an actor?
So this is from the hack. Whoever hacked them, that's what they left. Now it has come out that in an article today that came out that it was the source code was indeed sold at auction on the dark web, so it is already out there.
Yeah.
But when you read everything that they basically said they've hacked versus kind of what CD Projekt Red is saying, kind of like, well, we don't know. I can tell you right now from being in IT, they got the mother load. They got everything.
Oh wow.
So I think that tells you just how badly their systems were secured. Or B, it's like the movie Hackers, and somebody was using one of the commonly used passwords, and didn't follow, password protection and whatnot, and they were probably phished. But ultimately, I do feel bad.
The passwords were
love, sex, and if Her Highness would like to change her password, God.
And one more.
Secret, yeah.
Yeah.
God, I missed that. That movie.
I missed that. I love that movie.
Anyway, so I feel bad for CD Projekt Red, and the fact is, like, the employees that work there. Okay, you know what? I think the higher ups, still bear some of the responsibility for some of these things that are happening. But ultimately, though, anybody who does these types of things from a hacking perspective, you know what? You're gonna deserve what's gonna hit you once they find them and everything like that.
I feel bad for the company, man. They're still recovering from the whole launch of Cyberpunk, and
exactly,
it sucks, man. And I really love this company too.
Yep.
I hope they pull through.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So we'll
know,
see how they recover.
It's all about the 2077 though.
Yeah,
it's all coming from it, and it's just like kicking a dead horse at this point.
Yeah.
At this point, though, I think what's going to be worse about this is if somebody decides to actually just put this out there and put everything out there, people are going to see probably how bad of a shape the game really was in when they launched it, because they're going to have the source code, and your source code is going to tell you everything that was going on with it. So, now, real quick miscellaneous news that came out this week. E3 is looking to push forward with an all-digital convention similar to PAX. They just need buy-in from the major publishers to do it. They're looking at doing it the week of the 17th of June, so the week after normally when E3 was going to be happening. And finally, the UK is looking to make console scalping illegal.
Good.
And a lot of it is in response to basically the PS5 and Xbox Series X fiascos that not only hit the US, but hit the world. So I like the fact that they're making this big step towards that. But we'll see what happens because it's free enterprise. You can, if you can buy them, you have every right to set the price you want. Whether or not people buy it, that's up to them. So it'll be interesting to see how they do it. I think it maybe tie into if they're the ones that are buying them with bots, and like these these
not even
conglomerates.
I just feel that like as soon as the people, if we wait long enough, at some point they just become dead weight.
Yeah,
that's why exactly. They're still going to be making PS5s. They're still going to be making Xboxes. Sony and Microsoft still going to be making their money. The only person that's not going to be making money is the scalpers.
I hope that everybody does not buy from the scalpers, even though we know they are, because then they take a huge bath on all these consoles and have to lose a ton of money. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, the supply of demand will slowly,
diminish
itself off. Yeah. I mean, with Sony coming out and saying that the chipset, shortage, or the superconductor shortage is going to hurt them for a little bit. It's going to hurt Microsoft as well. So we'll see how that goes. So, so since we didn't get to really talk about it last week, Jason, what you been playing?
Well, as of last week, I have just been looking and scouring the internet for drop mix cards and trying to sir, there is a Power Rangers drop mix card, there is a Transformer GI Joe card, like they're like super rares. But anyways, just been that here and there on Final Fantasy, here and there on Division. Like I've cut back on a lot. I'm just about to finish Phoenix Wright, the first one finally.
Nice.
Like I'm looking forward to finishing that off. Just a lot of backlog games. Every time I start up my PlayStation, I always see Sekiro pop up because it's still inside. And I look at it and I'm like, maybe tomorrow. And that's been tomorrow forever and a day.
I didn't even unpack it. It's so demeaning being afraid of a game. Of how frustrating it truly is.
It's just like I just at one point I do want to like make a good stab at it.
Me too.
But I play for maybe an hour and I'm still at the same spot and I'm like, dude, come on, like there's zero progress. Like I've memorized the fight to like how to get to it. Do that in like a minute.
It's still that hard.
Do that in a minute. But then as soon as I get to the boss fights, I'm like, God dang it. Like
yeah. Yeah. That is still the game that has tested my gamer rage. That is the first time I've had to just like, I have to walk away. I have to back. Okay, I'm turning this off.
How's your new Final Fantasy 14 server going?
I'm still catching up, trying to get to play with Soldier and stuff. I do play with them here and there. Again, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you.
So, Jason, couldn't you have migrated your character?
Technically, yes, I could have.
Okay.
But there is a lot of nostalgia and a few things that I don't want to leave on the character. So I just left it on that other server. I still play it though. Like I got back on it. I still play that old character and trying to raid with a few of the friends that I used to raid with too. But with the new patch that literally just happened, I'm sorry, not the new patch, the new future releases that they announced last week, last Friday.
Yeah.
Man, it is going to be crazy. Like, I'm a little upset with the new job that they released with that announcement. Not in a negative way, but I wanted to see something else in my personal opinion.
Not everyone's going to be happy.
Yeah, but I don't play healers, so it's okay. Like, you healers.
Yep. So, Jerry?
Because of the whole move, I really haven't been touching any of my backlog other than I've just been playing Apex with you. And
so what else do you do? Like,
and slowly, like I'm knocking out Phoenix Rising, and I still have to finish Cyberpunk before I get hacked. So I want to finish that, and I only have one mission to do.
Matt, You know, you're
Yeah,
gonna
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
Oh, I'm still
Heading
they're
to
doing Festival right now. So it's a lot of that Carnival stuff.
Oh, cool. That'll be fun.
Which is really cool. Some of the cool stuff that they're doing for there. I am progressing through Miles Morales still. I'm about 60% of the way through my second run.
Close to that platinum.
I wanted to throw my controller the other night because I hit 92 hits and I need 100 for the trophy. And I got hit. And it was me being stupid and not paying attention. And I got hit from a long range sniper. And it was like, God damn it. And then, of course, we started playing Apex Legends. Heard some really good things about it, and enough people have been saying you need to play it, and a lot of people are jumping off COD because of all the cheaters that are going on with aimbots and stuff. And it's getting to the point where Warzone is almost unplayable now because there's that many cheaters right now, and Activision isn't doing anything about it. So a lot of complaints of a couple of the weapons have been nerfed, where it's just impossible to like even do anything with them.
Get enough armor to stop them.
Apex Legends was free, so we didn't have anything to lose by trying it out. And it was enough to where that night I dropped the 40 and said unlock all the characters.
Nice. I did later, like a few days later.
So I've already settled into my main character already.
Who are you maining?
I am maining Horizon. So she has the ability to toss down kind of like a levitation pad, so you can lift up to higher terrain. And then she also has her ultimate is a black hole. So I toss it out there and it just sucks everything in towards it. So you can pull people out of cover.
Yep.
Nice. And night before last, was playing. It was Theo, Jerry, and I, and Jerry and Theo were down.
I wish I saved it. It was such a clutch play.
I clutched it. I came in, just dropped in the black hole, and pulled them all in and lit the squad up, and took down the entire squad.
It was like 2 or 3. It was 3 dudes. All 3 dudes.
3 of them.
It was sick,
and it was nice. It was like I didn't expect it, but it was really nice to see. So Horizon is my main. I absolutely love playing her. But yeah, there's a lot of good mixed characters depending on how you want to play. It's just Mirage is one of those ones that Jerry's starting to play with a little bit, that has the clones, so you can send out the it's like the clone in Halo where you send out the wannabe Master Chief that just sends it out there. Same type of thing. I started playing around with him a little bit, but then I just started messing around with Horizon, and it's enough where in the games we've played, I use her abilities so much to get up onto the roofs of buildings and stuff like that to get that higher ground. And I am pretty much our sniper on our squad. And I have
nice.
By getting up on the higher ground, I've got that devastation with the sniper, so it's helped a lot. So just been pretty much those 3,
Nice.
Miles Morales.
Do they still have the ship at the start? The floating ship?
There is. It's in different parts of the map, depending on where you start.
Everybody always just aims straight for the ship at the start and just punch each other off.
We've actually developed our own little way. Is like we'll let everybody ditch off and go jump into cluster firefights, and we'll go to the back, gear up completely with everything we need, armor, weapons, ammo, and then we'll start heading for everybody. And it's worked really, really well for us. Nice. Yes, we don't have all the kills, but we survive a lot longer, and we've been more top 10ing matches now with that.
There you go. Get that
last night we were second place.
Yep.
Gotta get that winner chicken dinner, guys.
Yep.
Soon. We're getting there. We're getting.
You gotta do the ship jump, man. Everybody just jump on the ship.
We did it. We jumped on the ship.
There was another moment I wish I saved. There was an enemy that like got behind me and tried to like melee me, but messed up and fell off the ship.
Yes.
because I was right at the corner getting some gear, and I heard footsteps, but then I turned, so I guess they tried to melee me and they
Did
fell
that
off.
sidestep?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was funny. I wish I saved that
Yep.
one too. That was funny.
Yep. So yeah, it's been fun. It's a lot of stuff covered tonight. So for all of us that are watching in our YouTube channel, we've had Newman in there chatting away with us. Do it, Dance just joined in right here at the tail end. So thank you guys for kind of hanging out with us in chat tonight. For those that are kind of just lurking, thank you for taking the time to watch us tonight. And for those that are listening on the audio feed, when this releases on Sunday, thank you guys once again, as always, for crashing game night with us. It is always our absolute pleasure and honor that you guys take your time out of your days to listen to these shenanigans or watch us. So ultimately, if you did like what you heard, though, please, hit that follow button on and subscribe on Twitch, subscribe on the podcast platform that you are listening to us right now. Also head over to crashinggamenight.com, check out, listen to the podcast there, as well as check out the newest articles we had. Jason's finally bringing back Mobile Monday reviews.
Yep, Mobile
So we're getting
Monday's
those out
come
of there. The movie reviews are coming back as well. We just got a new one up there for Greenland by Theo. So as always, guys, be excellent to each other and stay frosty.
That is right, my fellow nerds. What is up? Stay frosty, stay safe, and also, once again, show your support for all of the social injustices. The Black Lives Matter, Time's Up, and stay safe. Let's continue spreading the love and just overall positivity.
Definitely. Shout out to all you guys, first line workers as well, myself included. You guys are all of us need to just keep rallying up. The vaccines that are coming out, for all the elderly, for all the healthcare workers, first line, we're starting to get those out now. So just be patient. Luckily, we're getting it at a really good pace, to be quite frank, and just a little bit longer, we'll be out of the weeds. And
April, we've got supposed to be out in the wild for everybody else.
Yeah, so it is just around the corner, guys. We can do it. We are close to literally global catastrophe, and nipping it in the butt. So still stay safe out there, social distance, wear a mask, be kind, rewind, because there is a lot of stuff still going out there that, even though we don't say it personally, it might be affecting you just right outside. And especially with Black Lives Matter during this month of February for Black History Month, shout out to all of you guys out there as well. Congrats again, Khalif, to making it out in Times Square. Wish I could have seen it personally, but that's a big shout out. And
yeah, man,
well
deserved.
Steal Theo's thunder.
Yeah, Jerry, why don't you do it tonight? Because I want to hear you ham it up.
Oh, all right.
The way you do so.
Well, and, ladies and gentlemen,
hold on, Newman. I'm gonna steal it on behalf of Newman.
Oh, okay.
So usually it's at TTFN, but we're gonna do it Newman style. Newman saying TTFN, ta-ta from Newman.
Ta-ta from Newman.
Ta-ta from Newman.
Have a good night, everybody.
Awesome.